one last question, and
Okay.
I don't know if Lars answered it before, but we talked with the comedian last week, and not the first time I heard about it, but with the PC culture and everything, it's getting harder and harder to tell jokes now because nobody takes the intention, in consideration when they think about what you were saying. So some comedians are saying that they lost a little bit of their love for comedy because of that.
Oh.
What's your take about it?
I think that the television networks in Canada are doing a terrible job. What do you want me to say to you? They should be ashamed of themselves. They're trying to change what comedy is, and guess what? It's not going to work because what they're showing on their things is not funny. And people watch things that are entertaining, and that's not entertaining. You can't just come in and go, "This is the way it is." Watch this fail. Once again, they don't know what they're doing.
Yeah, unfortunately, last week
they're pushing a mandate that is garbage and that is against freedom of speech and our rights. And I'm not going to stop saying what's funny. Guess what I don't do in my act? I never cut funny. So if leave, you'll be the only one leaving, and the people will be laughing at your ass leaving.
Exactly. Yeah, as I was about to say, we had a podcast last week with another comedian, great guy, really talented, and he said, "You know what, guys, I'm taking a break of comedy because he lost interest for the moment because he said everything is too heavy in the world right now, and it's really hard to fight
against that. You got to fight against that and fight, and no." Because that's how they win, and that no. So, I'm not going to be one of those. All of us have to be very careful of the changing of the world, the changing of the guard, I call it. They're trying to take away your rights. Be very careful. That's all. I'm not going to preach about it and say this is what you should do. No. Be aware. All right. Everything is designed to give you less right.
Yeah, exactly.
Lars had an intake on this, I think.
Well, I love somebody who is funny enough to make a heavy topic funny, so there are comedians who challenge themselves with a high level of difficulty. If you're an Olympic diver, you're not doing the simple dives, you're tackling the heavy stuff. And somebody who's been a comedian and a top level comedian for as long as Jeremy Hotz has, he can skillfully navigate those waters. And for him to say, I'm not pulling punches if it's funny, because if it's funny, it holds water. And a comedian's job, a comedian's job is to shed light on ridiculousness or injustice. So I am like, over the course of history, like if you read Mark Twain, there are words in Mark Twain that a writer wouldn't use today. So the pendulum is swinging a little, but in a good way, so that the changes are happening. The people who don't adapt are the ones who aren't going to make it. Somebody like Hotz goes, all right, I'm not going to say, I'm not going to use this word, I'm not going to use that word, because, the goal line has moved. And that'll happen over the course of history. And so I have no problem with people with it being a little more PC. I think Jeremy also spoke to something else that I'm incredibly passionate about. Canada doesn't have a star system, and the lack of star system. Yeah,
embarrassing. Sure. When it comes to there's okay. Let's put it this way. All right, guys, I'm going to tell you something right now. How many household names of celebrities are there in Canada? Would you say?
Not many.
Three.
I don't think
household
yeah. It's not many.
And why do you think that is? How many in England?
In England?
Hundreds.
Yeah.
It's done on purpose. They don't want to promote any Canadian at all. They just
Well, now do you think? Now that's a great. So I remember once the first time I met Mike McDonald, and and when I was in high school, Mike McDonald was churning out a new CTV special that was winning highest ratings and Geminis, and so Mike McDonald was hot, like big time. I mean, he was really killing it, and he said, CBC or CTV, who was doing the specials, I think it was CBC. Anyway, they said to him, like, oh, hey, by the way, you've had 3 specials in a row, so now we're going to give somebody else a turn. And he goes, but mine are the highest rated comedy programming you have all year. Why would you take the highest rating and give it to somebody else? He goes, well, it's very Canadian to go.
There's no answer for the question. There's no answer for that question other than because we're incredibly stupid. We don't know what. And we shouldn't.
That's a good answer.
Yeah, that's it. That's the answer to the question.
Yeah, the lack of
35 years. Have I ever had my own show in Canada? No. 35 years. And don't think I haven't brought them so many series, and don't think they haven't said no every single time, because they have.
Interesting.
More than interesting.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Things that I would never mention on stage when I do stand up, because at this point, like, I need them anymore. But boy, they could have stepped up and done what. And now guess what? Here I am on the other side of the fence, and they get nothing. Good call. Good call.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly.
I think I'm going to talk favorably about the television networks in Canada, the way they've treated me. Oh my God, please. Oh my goodness.
Not bad.
God, it's not just me, it's everybody. They don't.
Yeah.
Like we're strippers or something. What is that?
Underpaid strippers.
Well, just in Quebec right now, they're doing an adaptation of Brooklyn Nine-Nine. So I really like Brooklyn Nine-Nine, but is there any writer right now with great ideas that are not being put ahead because they want to do a sure shot like Brooklyn Nine-Nine, you know? So that's sad for me. They should go with our original stuff very more often than they're doing right now.
They're putting on Worlds for the 50th time now. They're putting like that hasn't been done 74 million times. That's no. What about the coroner show they got? Wasn't that Quincy? Except they made it a woman. Oh, that's groundbreaking. That's right. Just like I'm saying. Come on, guys. I would. And it's good. It ain't. I mean, it's just every time I see commercials, I just go like this. During Hockey Night in Canada, I go, it's incredible. Wow, you guys are really hitting it out of the park now.
I would like to see, because I mean, you know, comics was, you know, a Comedy Network presentation where they would film, you know, 15 or 20 comedian hour-long specials each year, and then that went to Comedy Now. And that ran for 14 seasons. It does break my heart a little bit that the Comedy Network isn't producing specials the way they were. They stopped 5 or 6 years ago, and it breaks.
Why is that?
They just didn't. I don't know. I don't know the answer to that. It makes me a little bit sad because, you know, I got a Comedy Now, so I'm like, I'm not speaking to this as somebody who didn't get one. I'm speaking to this as somebody who has one, and I go, there's so many funny comics, or even going back to the comedians who have a new hour or a new. You know, so it makes me
never got a chance, right?
That's right, and I think that
because there's no venue for it, right?
Yeah,
that's Canada, the land of no.
The land of no. That's awesome. That's unfortunately awesome, I would say.
It is. But you just have to have you can't be bitter. You have a good attitude about it, and you go about your own business, and you do your own thing, independent of them. That's fine. That's okay.
Yeah.
Just don't let it consume you. That's all.